Tonight's edition of Springboard, your virtual university. Thank you for joining us on your favorite leadership and personal development show. This is the platform where your personal value is enriched on a weekly basis. Springboard is brought to you by Legacy and Legacy and your superstation Joy 99.7 FM. This broadcast is made possible by some of Ghana's finest brands committed to the development of the nation's human capital. Let me thank these companies for making Springboard a reality in this year 2020. MTN Pulse Just Be, UMB Bank, UMB Speed Up, DigiBank Let's Go, the Enterprise Group, Enterprise Your Advantage, and Access Pension Trust, your reliable partner in pensions. Special thank you to our print media partner, The Graphic Business, and a big thanks to you, our listeners and viewers, for joining us every single week on Joy FM and also on Facebook. My name is Albert Okran. I'm here with the virtual academic board chaired by Comfort in her face mask, with Priscilla, Matthew, David, Amos, and Emmanuel matching her boot for boot. We are set for a big show tonight. I call it the VVID. Very, very important discussion. Call a friend to tune in for an experience of a lifetime. Well, yesterday I went through some withdrawal symptoms as I contemplated what would have been the biggest ever global convocation of the Springboard Roadshow. Many of you reached out in sheer disbelief. I mean, somebody called at 5 a.m. I said, are we having it or not having it? It just was so difficult for many to contemplate going through a period without the convocation. But one thing was certain: our partners and stakeholders promptly and unanimously came together in cancelling the event in full support and 100% compliance with the safety protocols issued by the president, and we commend the leadership of the nation for promptly and decisively responding. And I must add my voice to commend yesterday's arrangements for quarantine for flights that arrived, that was promptly and efficiently executed. And so, as part of our digital or virtual alternative to the convocation, we are starting a brand new series today called the CEO's Forum. We are actually mimicking what would have happened in the main session of the convocation. Tonight, we are joined by the man who would have been our first speaker at the convocation, the CEO of UMB Bank. Ben Amenumey joins us tonight to get a glimpse of what we would have seen at the convocation. He will talk to us very shortly about financial independence. Let me greet him first, and then I'll tell you the format and a couple of things, and then we'll get underway with our discussion. Ben, welcome to Springboard.
Thank you, Albert.
Always good to see you.
Thank you.
They call him the booster man. We'll find out why he's called a booster man. But the format today is very, very simple. He will share his thoughts uninterrupted for 10 minutes, just as he would have done in the convocation. And he's talking about three things: practical steps to financial independence. You will realize that you need this topic at this time more than ever before. Somebody called me on Monday and said, this Koro has spoiled everything. He says, just because of the nature of the arrangements and protocols put in place, work has come to a standstill. And he says, Chief, I have no savings. I'm hungry. I said, wow. This is the reality. Just one morning, you can wake up and you have no savings and you don't know what to do. He will be telling us three behaviors we must have to ensure that we don't find ourselves exposed like that. So we've had a spiritual feast this morning at digital service. Tonight, you can call it a financial feast, because apart from the tips that Ben Amenumey will share, 6 of our listeners will be smiling, because at a time like this, if you had a convocation, it would have been a wow moment, carrying away some cash in your wallet. So please, let's make somebody happy tonight. So call a friend who needs cash and tell them, Charlie, somewhere along the line in this show, somebody will find money on their wallet. So just listen to you. You never know. It's the wow moment edition of Springboard, your virtual university. Some 6 wonderful listeners will be smiling. I'll tell you how you can do that very, very shortly. Let me start with a few COVID-19 tips from MTN, our partner MTN. Number 1, avoid congested areas. Number 2, maintain a healthy distance between you and the one who continuously coughs or sneezes. Number 3, avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. One of the most difficult protocols to observe. Number 4, limit cash transactions and use Momo or digital payments as often as you can. 5, sanitize your phones, your keys, your wallet, your laptop, and other personal items daily. 6, cover your mouth and nose when you cough or sneeze. And 7, only consume and share verified pieces of information. Please don't spread fear. It's very important, and something that Pastor Table emphasized this morning so strongly. Half of what we share is not verified, and in most cases it's not even it's false. So share only that which comes from official sources. Now let me talk about the cash. Why you must be on your UMB Speed app, apart from the fact that it allows you to do digital transactions. Very, very importantly, tonight it would probably, like my friend who called me, tide you over at a time like this when COVID is changing the scheme of things. And so this is how you can qualify for the wow moment tonight. Just go to the Play Store or the App Store. This one, you should have it anyway, so you don't lose anything. Just go to the Google Play Store or the App Store, download and install the UMB Speed app. Just look for the icon. Matthew, put it on our Facebook page so they can see the right icon. Exactly there. So look out for the Speed app icon, download it, and then after downloading, register for the mobile wallet using the following. Select self-register from the home menu. That's simple. And then number 2, select the mobile wallet menu. 3, select non-UMB customer, and then fill your details: your name, your date of birth, your mobile number, email, ID type, and the number. And the IDs you can use voter's ID, passport, state card, or driver's license. It's as simple as that. Right when you do it, you'll be verified. You'll be verified right there and then when you submit. And then you can send a screenshot of the final stage after the onboarding through this magic number, the number you always have known, 024-9999-555. So check out our Facebook page. You'll find all these instructions there. And then just post on WhatsApp the final screenshot after onboarding. Now send your entry, and somewhere along the line in this show, I'm going to announce 6 selected people. The earlier you send, the faster your chance of getting selected. And I'm going to announce how much money has been uploaded on their wallet, and probably call a couple of them and ask them, how do you feel just on a Sunday evening like this, after giving offering in the morning, getting probably 10 times the offering in your wallet for free? You don't have to do anything. Just pay anything, do anything, just on board, and it will make it happen for you. And you can be smiling on a COVID-19 day like this. It's going to be powerful. All right, so this is Springboard, your virtual university, and tonight is about practical steps to financial independence. My guest for tonight, Ben Amenumey, CEO of UMB Bank, a strong partner of Springboard Virtual University. Ben, good to see you, and thanks for making time to join us on a day like this.
Thank you, Albert.
It's a very interesting period we live in, aren't we?
Very interesting.
Very interesting period. As a corporate leader and a pastor, I'm sure you are putting in place the financial measures and also praying for people that they will go through.
The spiritual side is very important.
Very important. So today, I was telling you about a friend who called and said, a thorough professional who called and said, just by the disruption, he had made no savings and he needed money, and it just struck me that there are people who are going through a period like this with no backup resources, no safety net, and no savings. Ben, share with us your thoughts, the 3 things you think we should do about financial independence. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Albert. First of all, I want to thank the Springboard Roadshow Foundation, especially your boss, Comfort, for inviting me. And also, I want to salute the Multimedia Group for doing a great job for Mother Ghana over the 25 years. Our listeners, I welcome you on board, and I appreciate you, especially those who are emerging leaders. This evening, our discussion focus is basically on personal finance, preparing for the future. I see personal finance as one of the important means of preparing for the future. Without personal finance, your future can be a bit troublesome for you. In that light, I see personal finance being involved, creating adequate funds for the future, and managing your money and making investment and other financial decisions with the aim of meeting your financial obligations at all times. Which means if you really want to be credible, or people to see you as someone who is serious, that they can do business with, you have to manage your personal finance. Even in the church, it is said that if someone wants to desire to be a pastor, the person should be able to manage his home. So if you want to be a business leader and your own personal finance, you have to be depending on people for your daily bread. It is difficult for someone to take you serious. So I have 3 behaviors which I have coined DAD, and that usually provide for the home. So if you want to see yourself as a future leader and have financial independence, then listen to us on Doi FM 99.7 FM. Now, the 3 things that I'm talking about, the first one is desire. You must have the desire to be financially independent. This is about your vision. Because if you don't have that vision, that inner desire, you will not be able to make it. You can't save for the future, but at the end of the day, you will spend it. So it is very, very important that desire need to be reinforced day by day. It's like a dream, and you have to take it as a strong decision, because desire is about you having the edge, the zeal to do something. Now, what I see is that if once you have that desire, then you begin to appreciate people who have made it and start seeking information about how they made it. You need to do that in order to have knowledge about personal finance and how to be financially independent. Now, I actually started saving when I was in stage 4. Currently, if you match it, it will be like a GSS 1. When I felt I need, usually when it is Christmas, I have to struggle to get my auntie and my parents to buy stuff for me. So I started saving. So during Christmas, I'm able to buy a few stuff for myself. Now, once you have that desire, then you are good to go. You must now take action, which is the next one, which stands for A in the DAT. Actions means that you have to take a step in order to actualize your desire. At the desire state, you would have gathered enough information and plan what you want to do. So at the action point, you now have to choose the type of investment you want to do or savings. You are a student, so you don't have much money. You have to start by saving. Saving is the first step. Then as you are able to accumulate funds, then you choose which type of investment you want to do. If you get to the saving stage, there are a number of means of doing it. UMB Speed App is there. You can download the wallet as mentioned and then start saving over there. There are other means. You can start saving in your box at home, and then once you are able to accumulate funds, then you move. Now, when you are taking action, it's also about thinking about extra income. Some of you are done with school and you are done with national service and you are thinking of what to do, or you are even working, because it's about your future and not about your present. If there's a need to do something extra to increase your income so that you can increase the savings for your future, you have to do it. It's unfortunate that in our environment we don't have a lot of avenues for that. Now, once you are able to take action, the next step is to discipline yourself. Discipline is the one that insulates all your effort, your desire, and your action. If you are not able to discipline yourself, what happens is you would have borrowed money ahead of realizing your investment, which means you've done a zero-sum work. So discipline includes keeping yourself very well so that you don't spend your money paying medical bills and the rest. Moderating the things you do, and how you manage your expense in order to do that. I had a good savings, but along the line I have to support or guarantee a colleague or a friend who imported goods. And I did that with good faith. But along the line, he defaulted.
Oh dear. And
because of my status, I have to come in to pay that bill. It was a difficult thing, but I have to pay. And that, I bent my finger. So I felt that if I had disciplined myself and then see it as my personal finance and I don't have to involve it in business at that point, I wouldn't have gotten into that mess. But all the same, I think that discipline is something that you need to do in order to insulate. But along the line, once you have the desire, you take action, you always have to come back to your desire to motivate you to continue. Because the desire is like the Christian faith, because that is what is actually going to move you into greater heights and whatever you want to do. It is always good to have financial freedom by saving, investing, and when you get to a stage, you can even invest in other assets, those financial assets or non-financial assets that can give you income. And you must watch your expense, not to spend on things that are not going to generate any income for you. I think when you do this, you will surely make it.
19 minutes past the hour of 7 o'clock. This is Springboard, your virtual university. Those are the opening thoughts of Ben Amenumey, CEO of UMB Bank, in our digital convocation discussion about financial independence. And I'm getting a number of messages and questions from many of you asking and trying to explore the thoughts that he has shared. Let me give some props to our partners, and when I come back, I'm going to break down what I've learned from Mr. Amenumey, and the number to send your questions, your thoughts, and your contributions to by WhatsApp 024-9999-555. And while we get ready for that one, let me remind you about the opportunity to get some cash in your wallet. You talked about the fact that you must have an extra source of income. I have a ready source of income for you right now tonight. So download it and install the UMB Speed app from the Google Play Store or the App Store. Register for the mobile wallet using the following steps. Step 1, self-register from the home menu. Step 2, select the mobile wallet menu. And then 3, when it asks you, just say you are a non-UMB customer because you are a beginner, and then fill your details. Simple details which you should know by now: your name, date of birth, mobile number, email, ID card type, and then the ID number. And the IDs you can use are your voter's ID, your passport, SNIT card, or driver's license. Once you do that, it will take you to a place where you can simply submit. Once you submit, it will give you a screenshot, or give you a screen. It will come on your screen as approved. Just take a screenshot and send it by WhatsApp to 024-9999-555. In exactly 20 minutes, I'm going to announce those who have won and call you and ask you how it feels to have money drop in your wallet on a Sunday just like that. But this program is brought to you by Legacy and Enjoy 99.7 FM and proudly sponsored by MTN Pulse Just Be, the Enterprise Group, Enterprise Your Advantage, UMB Bank, UMB Speed Up, DigiBank Let's Go, and Access Pension Trust, your reliable partner in pensions. Let me go for a brief commercial break. When I come back, I'm going to tell you about DAD and the lessons for emerging leaders about financial independence. Please don't go away.
UMB was established in 1972 as the premier bank for the corporate and private sector in Ghana. From our very beginning, as the only Ghanaian bank serving all categories of businesses, we set a standard for excellence and innovation. Over the past 45 years, we've built a financially healthy and strong bank, demonstrated our commitment to our customers and to growing businesses, and exhibited originality and innovation at every turn. At UMB, our focus is built around people, service, products, and technology. These are the key to our present success and our future triumphs. At UMB, we're poised to make a difference not only with our customers, but also in the banking industry. We invite you to share in our future. Our future starts now with you.
When you don't have the Enterprise Advantage app, you're not in control.
Boss.
Yes, Akwesi.
I'm at where they sell the coats. What size do you like?
What coat?
Coat, office coat.
I said get me a quote. Quotation from Enterprise. You pan.
Oh.
What?
Save yourself from the stress. Take advantage of the Enterprise Advantage app. Make your claims, check statements, request for a quote, and buy a policy from any of our subsidiaries. What's more, you can also get health tips, traffic information, find mechanic shops, and more on your Enterprise Advantage app. Download the Enterprise Advantage app on Google Play and Apple Store now. Here is to 95 years of trust.
Enterprise, your advantage. How do you intend to sustain yourself when you retire?
My children will take care of me when I'm retired. I am a professional. I can work till 80.
Some people leave their retirement to chance. How are you planning yours? Your attitude today can help you avoid struggling to survive when you retire. With 50 Ghana cedis monthly investment in the Axis Pension Plan, you can accumulate 700,000 Ghana cedis in 30 years. This investment will guarantee you retirement income that far exceeds your current income. Visit www.axispension.com to sign up or call 0302-543-287 or 0544-321-966 for details. Axis Pension Trust, your reliable partner in pensions.
24 minutes past the hour of 7 o'clock. This is Springboard, your virtual university, and my guest for tonight, Benjamin Amenumey, is the CEO of UMB Bank, and he's sharing with us about practical steps to financial independence. I love to summarize everything I learned because of my mother's a teacher, and that's how I learned growing up. So DAD is the acronym. I love acronyms. They make learning very, very easy. So DAD is the acronym, and he says he started by saying that financial independence is necessary because without personal finance, your future can be mortgaged, hijacked, or troublesome. And so these are his recommendations. Number one, there must be a strong desire. He says vision is your inner desire. You can save, but without a strong desire, you just will burn out the cash one day because something will happen and you just go and spend the cash. So the desire is the foundation. And he says the desire is the same thing that will drive you to seek out others who are doing well, connect with them and find out what they are doing right so you can learn from that. And he says he started saving early because he built that culture right from his childhood. The second one is action. He says action starts with gathering information, and the best place to gather information is right here on your virtual university, and then you build on from here. He says gather information. Number two, save. And then number three, when you accumulate funds, you choose your preferred investment tool. So as part of that, he says explore additional income sources. And the third one, he says discipline. Keep yourself well so you don't spend wastefully. Let me ask you, let me go to Comfort first for her thoughts on which of the three is her preferred one, and then I'm going to come to Mr. Amenumey to give me some questions, some answers to questions that I have on aspects of his presentation. Desire, action, and discipline. Comfort, which of these three would you say speaks to you the most? I have my clear choice, but which of the three would be your first choice?
I think my first choice would be discipline.
Right.
Because I tend to, I have realized that as whatever one is able to build is a result of having applied some form of discipline. Without discipline, without force, without consistency, it's difficult to achieve anything. So for me, my first choice will be discipline. Will be followed by after the discipline, followed by action, and then followed by desire, and then the appropriate action. Because if you don't have the vision for it, you will not go for it. So I think I'll do the other. So I'll do it. I'll still do it, Dad.
But from the back to the front.
From the back to the front.
So you ended up doing DDA actually.
Okay.
Ben, do you have a personal favorite? As a banker, as a person who has lived your life over a number of years, you've seen people rise, you've seen people fall. Which of these three, even though you shared all three, which of them would you say is the most critical?
I will go for desire, because desire once you reinforce it, it will shape your discipline and your action. So desire has to be reinforced, because with desire, your eye will always be on the big picture of having financial independence in the future. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. I was amused by the story about standing surety for somebody, and I found a scripture for that. But let me interrogate the two. You chose discipline. You chose desire. So the rebel in me will choose the one that none of you chose, which is action. In my personal opinion, having done Springboard for 14 consecutive editions since 2007 January, I find that many times the difference between people who make it and people who don't make it is action. Because people can come and hear the same thing and say, wow, it was a beautiful Springboard, look, it was nice. You see them a year later, and one person has done so much with so little information. It's just a 4-hour interaction, and they say after that they listened on to the radio, and they did this first, they did that second, and they did that third. And when they meet, the same two people meet a year later, you're asking yourself, how could one person make so much progress in 1 year, and the other person is back at the same Springboard and has not done much progress since the last year, but they're happy to be there again? The second person is happy to be there, but they are coming with a full plate of achievements coming to add on. So I tend to look at this at action. So you want desire, I want action. Comfort wants, Ben wants desire, Albert wants action. Comfort wants discipline.
Okay, so let's look
you
at
the one. You the one listening out there. Which of them is your favorite? So, send your thoughts.
So if you take action, discipline, desire, it will be add.
Right.
And that once you are adding,
you're adding value to your life.
Yeah.
All right, let me share a few thoughts that have come in so far from our listeners. And let's find out. Audrey White of UMB says, discipline. Thank you, boss. So Audrey goes for discipline. Delali, desire. Oh, the person's name is Desire. So the person chose action and discipline. Wow. It says the Lord is our help, financial independence. Here we go. But you, Delali, your name is Desire. So of course, the desire is constant. And then Akubere Samson says these 3 E's are good for every investor: education, experience, and excess cash. So Ben, Samson takes us on a different tangent. He's saying that if you will be successful as an investor, you need education. What do you think about education?
Yes.
About education or awareness?
Yes, that is very important. It's embedded in the action,
right, and
part of the desire. So
education will come under what you call gathering information.
Yes.
All right. Then what about experience? Samson's second point is experience.
Yes, experience comes by practicing.
Right.
So once you take action and the desire is driving you, definitely you will gain the experience.
And you gain it by the discipline.
That is why you don't have to jump into it. You start by saving and then not being greedy, going for very high income earnings. Because if the income that you earn on whatever investment you are doing is higher than the normal market standards, then you must know that the risk too is high.
Interestingly, this point about not being too ambitious in your quest to build a savings culture came up in our last discussion, and that was Joseph Ampofo of Enterprise Trustees, and that was a foundation for this discussion. And one thing that came out is that he says sometimes you try to compensate for a life lived without savings. You get angry and you say, I'll save 30% of my income. And that really is not sustainable in some situations. And so you start very well, you are very excited, and then after a short while, you go and just ravage the whole savings and mess it up like you mentioned earlier on. So he's saying, go with something that you can manage with. And the second warning is avoid fantastic interest rates that people call. Always put a red flag against it and go for something that is sensible and achievable. What are your thoughts on that?
That's very important. The fact that you just have to start saving and also agree on a percentage that you can save, because you necessarily don't need to think that you cannot do it. Once you have the strong desire, that is why I added the desire, because once you have the desire, that desire needs to be reinforced, visualizing the end goal that will propel you to save. Right. So once you save, in terms of the earnings on it, I've already mentioned that you don't have to be too ambitious going for very, very top high interest rate.
Right.
You can be swayed into trouble.
Right. The third one that Samson mentions, Akubere, is excess cash, and I'm talking about excess cash tonight. If you just joined us and you want to run the race, if you were at Springboard after Mr. Amenumey speaks, there will be a wow moment, and a wow moment is where the people in the hall will have their slips in a basket, and we'll just pick one, and then once you are picked, you just win some cash. Since you are not in the hall physically, you must be in the hall virtually, and the only way to be in the hall is to sign up to the UMB app. Miles Hagan and the team are monitoring the app, and they have started looking at some names. If your name is not on the app, Matthew, you have some names in the app already. Yes, right. So there's still some space to win something. This is how to do it. Just download and install the UMB Speed app from the Google Play Store or the App Store. Register for the mobile wallet using the following. Just click self-register, and then select the mobile wallet menu, and then select non-UMB customer, and that's all. And then just fill your details with your ID, and when you do that, submit, and then send us. Some have done it but not sent your screenshot to our WhatsApp number. The WhatsApp number receiving the winning entries is 024-9999-555. Just sign up, send us your screenshots, and tonight we'll just put some of the bank's cash in your wallet. Charlie, just like that. All right, it's 35 minutes past the hour 7. Let me give you some other feedbacks that are coming in, or some other points that are being made for the benefit of our listeners all the way out there. Sylvester Pedro says, Booster man, I salute you. The man is full of wisdom. Congratulations. Edward and Paris says, watching live with my family. Edward, you watch church with your family in the morning. Now you're watching financial independence with your family in the evening. Your family is blessed. Elom Chao says, desire, action. Those are your two. Henrietta Duo says, Booster man, we are proud of you. Julius Atipo says, great ideas. Kudos Ben, and kudos Albert and the team. Discipline is the key to savings, investment, and to financial future. Stephen Nana Hearing says, action is definitely my choice. Now, Jacob says, I've been following Springboard since 2008 and conclude that this is the best financial sensitization program here in Ghana. Kudos to you guys. And now to my question, it's obvious that several options that are available do not bring return, and some. Your question is long, Pao. How do I guarantee that I can get a return on my investment? All right. Somebody's also asking, will I not be better investing in non-financial assets instead? Aaron from Mampo Kwapem says, very educative, or I'm very educated, but my problem is discipline. Comfort. Aaron from Mampo says, discipline all the way, because education, she has it, but it is the discipline. Let me ask you, Ben. Sometimes it's not your fault too. The number of things that seem to conspire against. Let me take three things that a person will want to do. Let's say financial savings. Let's say keeping your relationships well oiled, or let's say even training, fitness, dieting. They are all very laudable, and you always start well. The start is not a problem. Even spiritual, quiet time, prayer, fasting. The beginning is always not a problem, but the continuation. So Aaron is saying that as for education, the habit is the discipline. What will you say to that?
I agree with the discipline, but discipline needs a force to sustain it. The reason why people are not able to sustain it is because they don't go back to the source, which is the desire.
Let me contextualize this within the framework of your career. Let's shift a bit from our discussion. You talk about the force. You talk about the drive. I once interviewed somebody who says, listen, let's face it, for every person who becomes CEO, there are 100 people who don't become CEO. Mm-hmm. So it's not easy to become a CEO. And I like the frankness with which he said that. He says, whether you like it or not, when some people say, oh, it's by the grace of God, it's true. But find out how they got there, because whether you like it or not, for everyone who becomes CEO, there are 100 people who did not become CEO. So beyond the grace of God, which is a given, knowing that you are a pastor, let me find out what you call the force. What are the things you think you've done in your career that have propelled you to become who you are today?
Okay, so if you need to know what you are supposed to achieve, target. You have to meet your target, and at the desired stage, that is where you set your target. That you want financial independence. That is your target. Once that target, you continue to think about it, ponder over it. Everything that you have to do, every action that you are taking should be geared towards the target. And when you are being disciplined, the discipline should be structured towards achieving the target. So what I have done is to ensure that I meet my targets all the time and get awarded. That's it.
Let me trace your banking journey. What was your first stop on this journey? I know you didn't start in UMB Bank. Let's rewind maybe the past few years and try and get a sense of how you've trended.
Well, I started with Barclays, now AFSA, as a customer consultant. That's what we call the counter clerk. Then
you've been a counter clerk before?
Yes. I started from.
As in sitting at the counter counting money?
No, yes, as filling vouchers for customers.
Okay.
Then I went into the cubicle as a teller, and then later on moved to the head office proper. So I started from the High Street branch, then later head office, foreign exchange unit. Then when the bank wanted to separate foreign exchange from treasury, want to create a treasury unit, I was lucky to be part of that unit along the line. So that also taught me a lot of lessons.
What year? Let's trace it back. What year was it that you were the counter clerk? It sounds very interesting. Counter clerk is a step below the teller.
Yes, that is 1987.
Right, 87.
January 87.
That's when I went to first year in the university. All right. All right. So let's put context to this.
So Treasury from 1997 through to 2005 or so, right. 2003 or so. Yeah.
So from counter clerk to in the cubicle as a teller, and then an opportunity came in Treasury. You went to Treasury 10 years after starting the banking, and then you moved on to what?
So from Treasury I was at the front office. That's where the traders and the dealers work. Then came to the back office, and then supported creation of the middle office. Then I had opportunity to be the first internal control head of internal control, and then got opportunity to become the head of operations before I moved on.
So from ABSA, or Barclays, then where did you go?
I made a stopover at ADB.
Okay, I like the word
that's for 2 months.
I like the word almost like a pit stop in Formula One. You change your mind about something, or a bigger opportunity.
Well, bigger opportunity. Yeah.
So from Barclays you went to ADB for 2 months, and then you went to
UMB.
Right.
UMB as the chief operating officer.
Right. Right. CEO at UMB, and what year was that?
That's 2016.
Right. And then 4 years later, you are still in this chair as a CEO. What is the proudest moment of your career?
Is having opportunity to work for UMB. Basically, most of the things that I learned over the years, I was able to apply and bring them to bear at UMB. So I'm very, very proud working for an indigenous bank.
It's 42 minutes past the hour of 7 o'clock. In exactly 3 minutes, I'm going to be telling you those who have been very fortunate to be selected. Hey, Charlie, Master, as a pastor, I can tell you this: if on a Sunday you find money in your wallet like that, your faith will rise. I'm telling you something. But let me talk about the mistakes of your life. And you mentioned standing surety for a neighbor, a friend, and I'm going to take you to Proverbs chapter 6 verse 1, and it says, "My child or my son, if you have put up surety for your neighbor, have given your pledge for a stranger." Let me. Verse 2 says, "You have been trapped by what you said and ensnared by the words of your mouth." And you ended up having your fingers bent. What was your biggest lesson from one of... Every leader has some failures, and yours is obviously, this is one of your failures. What is your lesson from that?
Well, I need to do more assessments, and then even if I support the person, I should be tracking, because I had an aim for that investment, but I did not track.
Your desire was good, but the action failed you.
Yes.
All right. So that's the downside of it, but you learn the lesson from it.
Yeah,
as a banker, do you find yourself sometimes thinking of that experience when you're making risk decisions?
I do, especially when I'm counting where I should have been, and I'm not there, because it was a serious money.
Wow.
Yeah.
What about making decisions on risk decisions for the bank? Do you find yourself thinking about that experience at the back of your mind?
Yes, because I shouldn't have done it based on my experience as a treasury person. And in treasury, every transaction is taken separately as on its own. So you will not say you have dealt with this customer 2 times within the day, so the third one is a given. You still have to assess it. It's different from general operations in the bank. Let
me ask you, I have a number of listeners who are aspiring to be bankers. You've done internal control, you've done operations, you've done treasury, you are CEO now, you've done teller, you've done counter, you've done the whole gamut of banking. If somebody asks you, what does it take to be a successful banker? If you won't give them even 3 tips, you at least give them one. What would you tell them?
With modern day banking, you have to focus and pick one of the functions of banking after getting the base. So you need to get a track, whether you want to be a salesperson, and if you want to work at the other areas, you want to work in the treasury, that is knowing market risk, or you want to work in the general operations, basically operational risk, or at the credit, because banking is about taking deposits and giving out. So those who take deposits mostly are the sales people, and the treasury also take wholesale deposits. Now those who give out the money are the credit people. That is also a different skill that you need to learn. So by so doing, you have to select based on your background and what you can do. It is very, very key. If you find yourself in a wrong place, you get stuck, and there's no way to progress.
So you believe that specialization is key. There's a debate in town, and today I read, we once hosted from Yale University, Professor Vikram Mancharamani, who had written a book about generalists. Vikram believes that the generalist has an advantage. So to succeed in life, you must be a generalist. You must be able to know something a bit about treasury, a bit about customer service, a bit about operations, risk, everything. And then the second school of thought says, if you really want to dive deep and go far, you must be a specialist. That in your area, you must be a master. Personally, which of these schools of thought do you belong to?
I think in the modern day, you have to be a specialist. Those are the people we need. But at the same time, you at the back end learn about the others. But you have to specialize in one area and be strong. Because if you take a bank, for instance, there are functional heads, there are those people have to be specialists. If everybody is generalist, it's jack of all trade. It wouldn't work for the institution. So we need specialists to achieve great results.
All right. So what you ended up giving me is a hybrid because you allude to the fact that you want a specialist, and yet you are saying that to become that specialist, you also must have a base where you have a sense of everything, and that's actually supported by the World Economic Forum, who are saying that in this era where people are laying people off and cutting back on workforce using technology, the person who, in addition to their main function, can play 1, 2, 3 other roles will be preferred, because everybody wants somebody who can bring additional value beyond their area of specialization. All right, so let somebody smile on a Sunday evening. It's 48 minutes past the hour of 7 o'clock, and somebody who just listened to Springboard Virtual University Comfort and just enjoyed knowledge about desire, action, and discipline also went a step further and took action. That's why action is winning. took action by downloading the UMB app. And that person is our Wow Moment winner for tonight. And I'm just going to let the person introduce themselves. Hello, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Your name, please.
I'm Stephen.
Stephen, just so your relatives find out that you have made money, they come and split the money with you. Stephen, what?
Stephen Chando.
Stephen Chando, tell me, did you download the UMB app?
Yes, I did download the UMB app. I heard you saying, I was listening to Springboard, so I heard you saying, giving the processes of downloading it and then registering and then sending a number. So I did that. And then I was just, when you said that you could get an offer tree, you made a joke around something that would be more than the offer tree. I was like, okay, this one might be some 50 cities. I was just thinking it was low, but you just wowed me. Like when I saw it, I was like, wow. Like,
how much did you win on your wallet?
I won 500 cities. I'm like,
you must be joking. Charlie, hey, did you go to digital service today?
Yes, I went to. I think I went to 5 different digital services. You know.
Hey, did you give 5 different offerings?
I did one.
So 5 sermons, 1 offering.
Yes, 5 sermons, 1 offering.
Charlie, I'm tempted to ask you how much was the offering, but I won't ask you. but did you get more than 10 times offering?
I'm sorry, come again.
I'm saying I won't ask you how much offering you give, but did you get more than 10 times the offering?
It was more than 20 or 30, you know.
Charlie, your faith in God must go up today. I'm telling you, this one, it is not talk. This is action.
Serious. I'm excited.
All right. So what do you have to tell your friends listening out there, just enjoying Springboard on a Sunday evening at a time when we are all going through a corona moment, but trying to hype ourselves up and feel happy? What do you have to tell your friends listening out there?
You know, I just want to tell them that they should keep listening to Springboard and at least get 1 or 2 financial tips that could help them also build themselves in this corona economy.
I like that corona economy. So get financial tips and then possibly also win a wow moment. Thank you very much, Stephen Chando. And you are the big winner. You won 500 cedis in your wallet, just like that, for being on Springboard. I tell you, I envy you. I tell you. All right. So there are 3 tips you're working with: desire, action, and discipline. And if in addition to this one, you also have won something, I'm going to be telling you very shortly. You still can download the UMB Speed app. I mean, Stephen did not believe it. He thought it was a joke. So download and install the UMB Speed app from the Google Play Store or the App Store right now. Register for the mobile wallet using the following. Just select self-register from the home menu. Select mobile wallet menu and then select non-UMB customer. The instruction is on our Facebook page right now. And then simply fill out your details: name, date of birth, mobile number, email, and then provide your ID card number and then ID card type, and then send us a screenshot on 024-9999-555. Let me give some consolation prizes. Ben, how do you feel? People are making money.
Yeah, they should make money.
They should make money. Yes. All right, let's talk about excess cash for somebody else this evening. Hello, Sam.
Yeah, hello. Good evening.
Sam, how long have you listened to Springboard?
Oh, I actually started, was somewhere 2019 ending.
2019 ending. You are less than 1 year old and you won your wow moment. Tell us, how much did you find on your wallet?
Oh, to my surprise, I found 100 CDs and I'm very excited about it.
Charlie, hey, you are listening to free knowledge and you're winning 100 CDs. Charlie, so what will you do with it?
I'm actually plan to save part of it because I have an investment somewhere, so try to save part of it and also use part for other stuff.
Maltegan, give me a number that they can call to be guided about how to save in any of our UMB products. Maltegan, just give me a number, a hotline they can call at UMB. Thank you very much, Sam. You're another winner on the show tonight. And if you haven't yet downloaded, please download the app right now and get ready to have some wow moments tonight. And it's very simple. Just download the app and just send us the screenshot and let's just make you happy. Miles, you are the head of channels. How does it feel to hear somebody say wow, not in the event but on radio?
I'm also really excited, and this is basically what we want to do. And we want everyone to understand that there's speed behind digital. So UMB Speed Up is about speed. So instantaneously they're winning, and the plan is they should invest more and save more.
Right.
Visit any UMB branch and then come and do more banking with
Let's see if I can take one more win on the show tonight. I just like the tone in their voice when they say they found cash on their phone. It's nice. And Miles, for you, I mean, you've been at Springboard several times in the show, seen the action, people reacting to winning wow moments.
Yes.
Bringing the experience digitally to people and finding that they can be part of this from anywhere, any part of the country, any part of the world. Exactly. How does it feel for you?
It's advancement. It shows with technology you can do even beyond your dreams, and this is how it should be. And it's great to know that we've been part of this from the inception, and we continue to be a key partner, and we'll continue doing it. Yes. Final
question before I ask you for that number people can call. If people want to ask about UMB, your products, and everything, I'll give them a number. But before that, at a time like this when there's minimum contact, minimum movement, what would you say in terms of digital solutions that people can have in just a minute?
Sure. So what we are trying to drive is the use of our digital channels. So Speed Up is critical. You can also use our internet banking, our ATM services, and then we have a lot of point of sale terminals. So instead of using cash, we are actually driving a cashless or cash light campaign. So go pure digital, avoid cash, and then that's the best way to transact. And most of these are super fast. So once you use it instantaneously, you settle your bills and you'll be more than excited.
Charlie, talking about excitement, let me see if I have a female this time. Is it a male? Is it a female? Come first, male or female?
Female.
It must be female. We must achieve gender balance.
Exactly.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Hey. We have to get a female. So tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Okay, so my name is Ruth and I'm calling from Labadi.
Ruth from Labadi. How long have you listened to Springboard?
Not for long. I haven't listened to Springboard for long, but I really like the things you share over there.
But you see that the beautiful thing about the kingdom is that you can come last minute and you can come and take somebody who was
Yeah.
So how much did you find on your wallet this evening?
100 CDs. The way I'm excited. I mean, I was just there and my account was credited just like that. Ooh.
I like that, just like that. I'll record your voice just like that. All right, so Ruth, listen to Springboard next week because we'll be having some more wow moments next week. I tell you something, this is the CEO's Forum. It's going to be run non-stop at least for the next 6 weeks. We had 6 speakers lined up for the convocation yesterday, and the convocation didn't come on. So we are giving you a digital experience back to back, all the 6 CEOs, and every single day there will be a wow moment. So tell your friends that as for Sunday evening, when they go to church digitally in the morning, in the evening, they should come to a digital convocation back to back every single week. How does it feel? All right, so that's for you out there. Listen, wherever you are, listener of Springboard, I have good news for you. You can have a wow moment every single Sunday until Corona is gone and until the convocation is over, just to keep our spirits up. So we'll give you the knowledge, we'll give you the fun, we'll give you all the experience, and all our partners will chip in and give you, who knows, we might even end up with a grand wow moment as big as the grand wow moment it would have been yesterday with the laptops and the phones and everything. So you may never know the surprise that we will come up with. But the 3 big words you are carrying away from here: desire, action, and discipline. And many of you are sending lots of messages. We'll share them on our Facebook page. Catherine Eka says the Booster man is a formidable leader. Sylvia Sewell says discipline. God bless you, man of God. Daniel Datson from London says I've learned that process is one thing you cannot bypass if you want to be exceptional in your chosen field. Edmond Bonsu says action. Eric Nana Jr. says your guest has confirmed my actions for me. Joseph Alote says our booster man, you do all. Caleb Hackman says I will choose discipline. Can't for this seem to be winning, no? And then Nikote and Ashong says action. You see, if you realize you're losing, then you vote like 3 times. Then let me take the last one. Kelvin Kwanzaa says very inspiring. Let's end with your final thoughts, Ben Amenumey. But before that, Miles, if somebody wants to call UMB and needs to ask about products, ask about guidance, what would you tell them? What number?
Yes. So the contact numbers, the main telephone line, that's 0302 633 988.
633-988.
And we also have
0302-633-988. Okay.
We also have toll-free lines. So for Airtel,
Fred toll-free line first, and you check.
Yeah. So for Airtel and then Airtel, Tigo, and Vodafone, that's 0800 188. That's 0800 188. And then for MTN is 0800 100 880.
You see, I'll memorize the MTN one.
Yes.
0800
100
880. That's the one I'll memorize. I mean, MTN person 2 and 2. Coming up next, the Walk with Jesus, and the topic is worshiping effectively online. A very, very appropriate topic for tonight. But before Pastor 2 comes, let me say a big thank you to you, Boosterman, for joining us and not just sharing tips on DAD, but also for making tonight a wow moment for 6 of our listeners. I'm sure we couldn't put all of them online, but I hope you've enjoyed the experience.
Really?
Right. Thank you so much, and thanks to UMB for sponsoring us, not just for the radio broadcast, but for the roadshow, the Festival of Ideas, and just being our partner for the whole year. A big thank you to you, sir.
Thank you very
much. We celebrate
much.
you, sir.
Thank you.
Miles, thanks for putting a smile on people's faces. Let's do this again. Next week, send us more money.
Sure.
People have learned the thing. Also for Atapa, before I hand over to you to do your show, let's talk about Ene. Ene is Sunday with a difference. Let me just take a minute of your time before you change seats and take over from me. As a pastor, walk us through the transition between what you are used to and what you found ourselves having to encounter.
For me, it wasn't too much of a strange experience because preaching the media background is one, and then preaching on joy over the period we've been. I mean, exactly. But the difference here is that for once that tactile effect, with regards to members, I see them, right. I can really interact with them, is what was missing, and I'm already missing that gathering together.
A particular person sits on. There is somebody who will jump up whenever you say something.
Exactly. All of those things we're just missing in there, and I wish this whole thing is over soon.
But do you see an opportunity in this?
I do. One, the world has gone global, okay, and internet basically is what has made the world global. So I believe that the church has got to take advantage of this and broaden our wings. Exactly.
Right. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to sign out so you start your show.
Yes,
but
sir.
It's a topic that I tell you something. It is so crucial, and I'm praying that by the time this is all over, the church would have, even if through persecution or force, whatever means or emergency, learned something that we probably should have learned long ago. Exactly. Some learned it way ahead of schedule, but those who don't have capacity, through this, may have an effective tool of preaching the gospel that we may not have explored enough. Have a beautiful show, sir.
You too, sir. Thank you. I enjoyed Springboard. I wish I had signed on quickly to the UMB.
Next week.
Next week. 500 be to Mohanje.
Apparently, it's more than 30 times his offering. All right, this is Springboard. My name is Albert Okran. God bless you, and God bless you. Stay tuned for A Walk with Jesus. God bless you and good night.